I got a question. Why is it that every time I turn on social media, there's a woman on there of all ages asking, where are the men? Where can I go to find men? How come men don't show up to events? And on top of that, you never really hear men asking those questions. Also, there are some places where the ratio of single men to single women is like 10 to 1, which would mean there are way more single women than single men. So my question is, how does that translate to a male loneliness epidemic? Somebody lying. This ain't adding up.
I think from our perspective, there's been a massive decline in men approaching women. A night out, like guys, their focus isn't on women until the end of the night when they're trying to find a woman to take home.
Right, yeah.
Like they're not really interested in, and even just like a little bit of rapport. To see if you vibe, if you've got the same personality, if you've got the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
Even if you're looking at guys, they won't come up. They don't want to get rejected, or they just care more about going to do lines in the bathroom. Like it's a multitude of things.
You know, a lot of modern women don't really do anything. So that's why modern men stopped initiating. And you're mad at the man because he stopped initiating, but he was really acting like a bum. I mean, honestly and true.
3 ways to know if a guy is checking you out. 1 is eye contact. He either gives you quick glances or he stares. Most guys try to be not too obvious with the staring though. Number 2, his friends stare at you too. Another great way of telling if a guy likes you is if his friends stare at you too. If he is with a group of friends, they will know if he likes you and they will want to check you out for themselves. Number 3, he looks you in the eyes and smiles. If a guy is confident and likes you, he will look you in the eyes and smile.
I feel like ignoring your partner when there's an issue is neglect. And I think neglect is a form of I am not going to ignore my partner. If I feel a way, I'm telling you how I feel. I don't care how uncomfortable it makes you or me feel. We're going to talk about it. But that whole ignoring thing, that's another form of manipulation. Nobody can tell me different.
Even if you're that partner that doesn't want to talk, just say that's your partner. I don't want to talk right now.
I'll say it right now. I just need a moment. I just need to take some space for myself. But the whole ignoring, if you ignore me, let 2 days go by. We done. We broke up. Don't come to me 2 days later. You was mad for 2 days. Be mad forever. We're done. I don't have time for that. We're grown. Say what your issue is. Or tell me you don't want to talk right now. So at least I know. Because that also brings up abandonment. I know I'm bringing up a lot of words. You have it right there ready to Google it.
Follow Masculine Craze for more relationship advice and tips.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I'm not going to ask to pay for my babysitter. I'm expecting you to know to do that for me.
You know what it takes for a woman like me to go out on a date? I got to get a babysitter for my kids.
Okay. Should I pay for that?
Yes.
When men hear that type of rhetoric, we do get discouraged from dealing with women with kids. I don't got kids. I prefer not to date women with kids. But when I hear stuff like that, it automatically be like, this is exactly why I don't deal with women with kids, because now it comes off as an obligation.
You had this child. This is definitely on you and that other party that helped you make this child to take care of it.
And to me, that's a red flag because it's an indication of how that relationship's going to go. From first date, you can't afford a babysitter. Throughout the relationship, that means I'm paying. I'm paying for everything.
She might be looking to see where your mind is at.
Maybe she
yeah.
That can't be the first. You will fail. That cannot be the first that you will fail.
A lot of these modern women continuing to want a provider man and a generous man, but they don't have generous attitudes. They don't want to give to a man at all. Why? How is that going to make me want to be generous? How is that going to make me want to provide?
All a man really wants to do, ladies, I'm sure you don't believe this, he wants to make you happy. But if he gets to the point where he believes nothing will, then he gets angry. And then he looks for some other place to feel like he's enough, because that's his upbringing. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying that's what it is. And by the way, women, as they get older, if they feel like they're not cherished and loved, and sometimes they aren't, or someone else becomes more important to that person, then they get angry and intense.
Yeah.
And so now we have people that love each other generalizing, distorting, deleting about the other side. Then it's hard to even have a new relationship, because you're still, when you come to a new relationship, you put across this person the filter of what's happened in the past. And if they do something similar to that person, oh, you better not do that, and we get angry and upset, it isn't even them. How many get this? Say I.
I.
You know, once people, I can't even say men in general, but once people stop being appreciated, they generally don't stay. And if they do stay, they're kind of like on autopilot. And that's what's happening to a lot of men in these relationships where women just not really appreciate it.
I see so many people saying, oh, what's the problem for women approaching men first? If she likes him, she should go for it. There's so many problems with this, and let me tell you why. First off, if a woman is approaching a man first, automatically he's going to see himself as the prize, and that's not the case. In every scenario, the woman is the prize, and the man should chase the woman because she's the prize. Second of all, he's automatically going to see himself as higher because he was the one that was approached, and he's going to use that to his advantage. And almost every single time, once y'all get into an argument, he's going to bring up, well, I never wanted you in the first place. You're the one that came to me. And if a man is getting approached first, most likely he's not going to say no because he didn't have to do any work to get that woman because she's coming to him. So I always advise against approaching first. And if you do like someone, there's little subtle signs that you can give to show that person, hey, I like you, but like, can you come approach me? But as a woman, you should never approach first.
Just a quick PSA for all my single girlies out there. If you're dating a passive man, break up with him. You want a leader. Find a short man, find an ugly man. As long as they're a leader, that's the number one criteria. And I know that you think this guy that you're dating is going to change after the wedding. It doesn't change. It actually gets worse because dating is the audition. And you're not dating a leader. How do I know that? Because he's allowing you to initiate everything, to move everything forward. He's allowing you to drive the bus even now. And that's not going to change. You're onboarding a future employee and you're going to be his manager. And managing a man is not sexy. It's going to get old really quick. In fact, it's going to start feeling like mothering, and then you're going to be full of resentment. I know passive men seem safe, but they're not safe. They're just dangerous in a different way. They're dangerous to your nervous system. You're going to burn out physically, mentally, and emotionally, and he's just going to watch. He's going to throw some gasoline on that fire because he's already comfortable letting you do all the heavy lifting. And so you got to get out, and you got to get out now, because the only other way you're going to get out is with a lawyer in a divorce. And I know you don't want that.
A lot of men, when they see the state of dating, when they see how modern women act, my God, you can't even go to a baseball game anymore and expect a sporting event and expect for a woman not to cut up. You can't even go to church and expect a woman not to cut up. Modern women, not all women, not all women, modern women.
We did love each other passionately, but I suppose we had children and we stayed together and we worked together. So it's more a business relationship than what it is actually a physical or loving relationship.
What do you want?
I want somebody who thinks that there's nobody else in the world but me for them. I want a man who owns himself, somebody who takes control and allows me to be totally feminine in myself.
As opposed to where you have to take on the masculine. What tends to make you, Jenny, have to be masculine? What tends to make you feel that the most?
Well, Rob's quite an emotional person. And so with the children and even in an office situation, I always feel I have to be the voice of logic.
So when he's emotional like that, you have to be able to balance and be logical. I want you to feel this woman's pain. This is how painful it is for the feminine to have to be masculine.
Really, honestly and truly, the guy who shows up for you, it seems like for modern women in general, the guy who shows up for you for years comes to the realization that he's not really that important to you. And then he just leaves. And you're upset about it, but there's no reason to be. You were fumbling, like you were messing around.
They had a choice and they didn't choose you. It's time to move on. Just move on from them. Stop putting in effort, trying to make it work, trying to make it last, still trying to talk to them. It's not going to work out. They had a choice. They made their decision. Now just move on from it and just forget about them. They weren't worth it anyways. Whether it's a relationship or a friend, whoever it is, they didn't choose you and it's not worth your time. You're putting in way too much energy. You're wasting all of that. You can be using it on other things that are going to benefit you. You can make new relationships with new friends, new people. Why would you want to talk to or be with someone that didn't choose you in the first place? And you had to put in all that effort for anyways. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's got to be easier than putting in all that effort. It's got to be a lot easier than that. And you're going to gain a lot more peace. You're going to gain a better perspective and you're going to be able to do so much more because you're not going to have to worry about them. You're not going to hear from them. Odds are you've already put in a bunch of time. You took a chance. You tried everything that you could and it still didn't work out. So it's over. Time to move on. Time to be happy. Do something new. And I promise you, you're going to feel much better. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. It might take that long. You're going to feel a lot better. Just take my advice. Thank me later. You're welcome.
You know, men are looking at other people and they're saying, if marriage is going to be this way, if relationships are going to be this way, then why in the world am I signing that same contract? Why am I stepping in the middle of something that I know based on, what I'm looking, based on what I've experienced, what I'm looking at, based on how this woman is acting now? We don't even have to go like, oh, well, my friend, my this and that, based on how she's acting now. I'm not sure it's going to work.
Here's another form of begging that men do, and this one is called begging when it's too late. How many times did she tell you that she likes flowers? Huh? When she was on you, you didn't send her no flowers, bro. Now she don't want you anymore, you're sending flowers to her address. Stop begging, bro. It's too late. Do you understand? How many times did she cry? How many paragraphs did she send you telling you about how she wants to be treated? Now she don't want you anymore. You're sending surprise gifts to her yard. You're trying to treat her better now. It's too late, bro. Stop begging. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you something here. When a girl decides that she's done with you, it's done, bro. Take it from me. Take it from me. When she's done, she's done. Do you understand? And if she starts getting, it's ultra done. It's ultra done. So, bro, what I'm trying to tell you is, do things at the right time and stop begging when it's too late. Because when it's too late, it's too late. When it's too late, it's too late. So do things at the right time and stop begging when it's too late.
I was thinking about me.
Yeah, quite wrong, in fact. Thank you for asking. We're off to a good start. Science can help you do better. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. 3 science-backed facts you should know. Number 1, most women aren't single. That's a good place to start. Big error there. Very verifiable. Number 2, of the women who are single, there are many reasons for it. This is consistently reported in research by the women themselves and in objective evaluations and observations. Again, very straightforward, great starting place. And then finally, number 3, real attraction is not about being more of a man. Real attraction is something that grows over time. Real attraction varies from woman to woman, but what they consistently report and do is couple up with men who are kind, who are warm, who are stable, and who are reliable. There are other traits that matter, of course, physical attractiveness, ability to provide resources, but women are different, men are different. That's okay. Be you, find your person.
These modern women are going to continue the same cycle over and over again. I'm going to go to a singles event. So I'm a swear off man. I'm going to tell them don't approach me. And then I'm going to want to be approached. So I'm going to go to a bar. Tired of getting hit on by Chad and Tyrone and pumped and dumped at the bar. So then I'm going to go to a singles event or a church event thinking that I'm going to meet the cream of the crop. And I'm not going to find nobody because the men ain't there. And then I'm going to get online talking about where the men at. And then I'm going to find a good man. And I'm going to fumble him. And you're going to repeat the cycle.
I saw a video of a woman who was saying that the man that she had been dating hasn't texted her or called her in 5 days, but she notices he's always the first one to watch her Instagram story. But she was like, you know what? I'm going to revoke his privileges. So she unfriends him, removes him as a follower of hers. Within minutes, this man hits her up via text and is like, why did you unfollow me? Why did you take me out of your list of followers? So she's like, oh, so he's alive. She proceeds to ghost him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what it looks like to stand on business. Oh, you want to be a monitoring spirit? How about I ghost you? Now we both can be spirits. This is also what it looks like when you're trying to play it too cool with a woman who has ice in her veins. I'm sure he probably learned this from one of those red pill podcasters about trying to make a woman want you, let her see that you're watching her story but don't say anything, wait on her to respond. The same phone that he had in his hand that he used to keep up with her story is the same phone he could have used to call or to text her. But a lot of these men want to be chased. They want to be pursued. Your ego can't take the idea that they're calling you first or texting you first. They want to know what's going on with you so badly to make sure nobody else is taking their place. If you want her, go get her. But if he's not coming to get you, he doesn't want you bad enough. You don't have to break any of that down to him. Let him go figure it out with the next girl.
Contrary to popular belief, when you move fast in dating, it's not about how excited you are. It's not what it is. It's about feeling safe. Let me explain. When it feels very intense early on, you're receiving attention, reassurance, and closeness. I'd be willing to bet your love language is quality time. And when closeness, being close to someone, being intimate with someone, being near someone and having their attention, when that's always meant safety to you, speed is going to calm your anxiety. When things slow down, that reassurance of closeness goes away. And that's when discomfort shows up. So it's not, I'm scared to slow down with this person. It's, if I slow down, I lose what helps me feel okay. Slowing down creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is hard when you don't fully trust yourself yet. When you feel safe within yourself, you don't need urgency, and not because you're trying to force patience, but because you no longer need speed to feel okay.
Let me tell you something that some women don't realize until it's too late. You see, there's a kind of man that you don't replace. You can't replace. You remember him. Not because he was flashy, not because he was loud, but because he was consistent. He showed up when life was ugly. He protected your peace when he didn't have to. He loved you quietly without performing for the internet. And you see, the mistake is thinking that that kind of man would always be there. You see, men like that don't beg. They don't argue and they don't move in circles. They don't compete for your attention. They just withdraw. And one day when you wake up and you realize that that attention is gone, the safety is gone, the calm is gone, and you realize that you're surrounded by men who talk a lot but don't do anything, that's when you realize the mistake that you've made. But it's often too late.
I might get canceled for this. I don't believe in equality, if that makes sense. I feel like some jobs should be just for men and some jobs should be just for women. Now, I'm not saying every job should be like that. There are some jobs where it's like, men and women can work it. But certain jobs, I feel like only a man should work that job and only a woman should work that job. He's getting paid more because you can't lift a 180-pound box. Like me at UPS right now, I can't lift a 70-pound box. I'm going to tell the man to go grab the box. He's doing more work than me. He should be paid $1 more or something for that.
What's the biggest problem today with men and females?
Yeah, men think that is just what you should give them if they do something for you. I don't like that. Courting, chivalry is like now. If you take a girl to eat or something, like just right now, some dude bought me a drink at the bar. We went back up to his room and he asked me if we were going to have for an $18 drink. I'm sorry, but no, like you can't just buy me a drink because you want to get to know me. When you said we were going up to your room to go to Sexy Fish so you can change, I said, okay, let's go. But now I'm in your room and you're asking me if I want to have with you. A lot of men, they'll fly a girl out, expect in return, but don't discuss it beforehand. I don't want them to discuss it at all. I just don't want it to be expected. Like if you do something nice for me, I don't want you to expect out of it. You should just want to do something nice for a woman that you think is pretty or a woman that you might want to get to know.
A woman that prioritizes her career over intimacy, nurturing, and connection will become hypermasculine and stressed. This is a trauma response to a chaotic childhood where vulnerability and openness was met with or neglect. So she became hyper-independent, masculine, and controlling to cope, suppressing her tender emotions and soft vulnerability to protect herself from a phantom pain that no longer exists. This type of woman will be at first very attracted to a feminine man because she has disconnected herself from her own feminine qualities. But as a relationship progresses, she will see his femininity as unsafe, just as she has judged her own femininity as unsafe within herself. Both the woman and the man are not aligning with their authentic nature and are instead adopting incongruent traits to cope with unconscious childhood trauma. The woman will resent the man for being passive and weak, and the man will resent the woman for being controlling and harsh. What they don't realize is that they are judging the toxic version of feminine and masculine traits in each other. Because the healthy feminine is not passive, but flexible. The healthy masculine is not controlling, but is structured. But if they can heal their childhood pain, doing the emotional and energetic work, they can begin balancing both the feminine and the masculine qualities that they both possess. Follow me for more.
Physically strong men are no longer that important in society. It used to be hunters versus gatherers. You need muscle. That is what puts you at the top of the hierarchy. Not so much now anymore. Mental prowess is where it's at. that. Which is why when men like hold their strength over women to show like dominance, no longer really works, because that's just like not a trait that gets you to being successful, because it's success that defines where you are in society now, which does apply to blue collar jobs. Your girl has to call me when she needs to change a tire, or like your girl needs to call me when it comes to like house construction and like whatnot. And blue collar people say that to attempt to like bitchify like the man, like, oh, you're like so not manly. And it's just, I just don't think it matters anymore. I'm sorry, like, who's the boss here? I mean, obviously it could easily be like a woman who like called in, but it's like, come on. I saw somebody do this like as a plumber, and they're like, yeah, like who does your girl need to call? It's just like, just unclog my toilet, little bro, like genuinely. I'm not saying this to like disrespect blue collar workers, but this like superiority complex that they have over white collar men because they're not manly. Very outdated, I fear. Caveat, obviously, like I say this to a degree, like if you are out and about with a woman, like you should probably still be physically able, because within men there's still a hierarchy of strength, but like within society it's just not that important anymore.
So y'all know that I already don't trust men, and one of my biggest icks when I'm talking to a new guy is if I'm scrolling on my Instagram feed and I see his little profile pic floating underneath a hot girl's picture, then I click on her profile and she's not even following him, and we're not exclusive yet, and he's a single guy, he can do whatever he wants, but like I will still bring it up because I never want to be caught in a situation married or dating a guy who's liking other girls' pictures. And I've seen like a lot of married men and men in relationships liking my posts. I know that they're out there, and I know that there are a lot of them. And it's funny because every time I ask a guy about this, it's always the same spiel I get about how he likes everything on his feed, how he follows everyone back that follows him. And I'm just like, this girl does not follow you. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize she unfollowed me. Right? Like, it's always the same thing. And I find this extremely funny because you're willing to fumble the bag with me, who you barely got in the first place. This like ties along with the fact that men have kind of lost the art of pursuing. I think they're scared of rejection or scared it's not going to work out with one girl, so then they have to be like entertaining or trying to like shoot their shot at multiple girls at the same time. And like for me, I don't come from this generation of dating, and I've always been like a serial monogamist, and I don't know, everyone keeps telling me like you need a roster, and I'm just like, I can't. I don't know how to have a roster. I don't even find one person interesting enough to like talk to, let alone do I have time to entertain multiple men. And it doesn't stem from insecurity, like genuinely it doesn't. It's not jealousy. What it is, I never want to be that girl who other girls are talking about and being like, oh my God, her man likes my pictures all the time. Like, no.
If a man should provide, protect, and lead, what should a woman do? Because I hear this list every single day. Provide, protect, lead. And I agree with it. A man should absolutely do those things. But every time I ask the other question, the room goes quiet. It's like it's offensive to even bring it up. We've created a culture where a man's role has a job description, but a woman's role is just be yourself. That's not how relationships work. If one person has expectations and the other one has options, that's not a relationship. That's an audition where only one person is truly performing. And I'm not saying a woman should serve like a servant. That's not what this is. I'm saying if you expect a man to lead, you got to be willing to follow. If you expect him to provide, you got to be willing to build an environment worth providing for. If you expect him to protect, you got to be willing to not put him in positions where he has to protect you from yourself. In a relationship, both sides have terms. And somewhere along the way, we started holding men accountable to their side of the deal while telling women their side is optional. That's not equality. That's entitlement with the filter. Good man does not want a woman who does nothing. He wants a woman who matches his effort in her own lane. He leads, she nurtures. He provides, she manages. He protects, she respects. That's not old-fashioned. That's functional.
Yeah, well, it is also old-fashioned, my friend. And again, when he was first talking, I'm thinking to myself, well, who's he listening to? Who says that women don't have roles and women don't have expectations? Men do, but women don't. Nonsense. Men have the expectation to provide, to support, to protect, to lead. Women have expectations to support, to nurture, to love, and to respect, and to be loyal. Okay? And that goes both ways, by the way. I think loyalty goes both ways. But at the end of the day, anyone who thinks that women have no expectations, anybody that believes when you hear somebody say men should protect and provide and women just get to stay home and do whatever they want, that's not how it goes.
I
I'm on the hunt for eligible single men in Chicago today. We're here at the Riverwalk now. People were saying that Tiny Tap is like a good spot to meet single men, so we're gonna go there first. I have these like dollar bill flyers that I'm passing out with QR codes. I really don't want to do this right now. Guys, that's Tiny Tap, right? Oh! You see any single men here? Okay, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do it. Everyone here looks like they're in couples. Any of you boys single in Chicago? Yeah. Okay, I'm hosting a singles event on Wednesday. Is that $100? No, they're fake. They're fake. Amazing. Okay, here. Thank you. Yeah, bye guys. I'll take one. You want one too? Okay, here you go. Are you boys single? No? Okay. I can't do this. No, I tried to just go up to it. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. Look at this view. Okay, it looks like it's just a bunch of couples. Okay, this is just a bunch of couples as well and like 16-year-old boys. Do you see some hot blondes on the boat over there? But I don't think these are waterproof. Are any of you boys single in Chicago? I'm hosting like a dating event. Oh, yeah? If anyone is, or your roommates or someone, if you can hand it out. Yeah. Okay, take one. Okay. Bye, guys. He's hot. Okay, he's running though. He's running. Hi, are you single? I'm hosting like a dating event.
I'm not single.
Oh, okay. Do you have a roommate or someone? No.
I'll take it.
Oh, sorry.
You can take it back here.
Thank you. Update, we ended up in tourist territory, so we got a lot of guys like on work trips. I'm like, absolutely not. We're not doing that. I'm hosting like a dating event if you want to come. Okay. Yeah. Overall, we did really good. We only have 2 of these left out of like 30. But my singles event in Chicago is a good turnout on Wednesday. Stay tuned.
I don't think modern women understand that getting labeled a creep, getting labeled, and you're genuinely interested, getting labeled a creep for being genuinely interested. And I'm not doing anything weird. It's weird as you perceive it. But if I come up and just say, I mean, there's been time, and I can understand you, like, hey, you being genuinely weird. But there's been times that people have come up and said, hey, how you doing? And then the women just kind of sit there and like look at him, and then they look at each other like the man's not standing there. It's like, what a freaking weirdo. Who does that? Extend your hand and say, hey, how you doing? My name is Cassie. Nice to meet you. Oh, hi, Cassie. My name, and obviously you had already said your name, but you know, well, I just thought you were cute, and so I came over and, you know, wanted to talk to you and then, you know, see how you're doing tonight. Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know, we're not doing too much of anything, just kind of hanging out. Oh man, that's great. You know, can I buy you guys another round? Yeah, sure, fine. And where you say, no, thank you. I appreciate it. We're just kind of, you know, taking it easy, chilling. Oh, okay. Well, we hope you have a good night. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's the interaction. Modern women can be extremely weird a lot of times.